The Decorah girls swim team will be busy in Marshalltown this weekend. 10 events heading down to the state swim meet. We're with Decorah girls coach Allie Bachelder. And Allie, obviously, it's been a very successful season for you guys to this point. What has made this a special and successful group for you?
It's obvious. It's the athletes. The girls are absolutely outstanding in and out of the pool. I talk about excellence all the time, and that's what makes a successful team. And they have proven that over and over, just striving for excellence. I said, I tell them sometimes it's more than just what the times you put down, but it's the person you are. And they've really shown that through the season and worked hard and got to where they wanted to be.
How much better is this team than when you started practice back in August?
Oh boy. Well, unfortunately, we started from ground zero. It was a struggle to get started. We didn't have a lot of off-season training, which I wish we would have started a little stronger, but they ended very strong. I was very happy with the time that they put in. They put in the work consistently through the whole season, and it's really paid off.
How many schools are represented on this year's Decorah girls swim team?
Well, there's Cresco, Walk-On, Southwind, us. So there's probably 5 or 6.
And what is your regular practice routine? Obviously, when you're dealing with a sport that doesn't have a facility of its own, owned by the school district itself, you got to work on other people's schedules. What is the regular practice routine for your team week in and week out?
That's the struggle. We practice from 6:30 to 8:30. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday night, and then we practice from 6 to 8 Wednesday morning and 6 to 7:30 Friday mornings.
So it takes a little bit of dedication to be involved in this sport because it's really not a regular practice time where the kids are involved in getting themselves to get better. Is that fair to say?
That's very fair to say. Like there's Tuesday night into Wednesday morning and Thursday night into Friday morning. I'm the last person they see and the first person they see the next morning. So yeah, it's just, they're tired.
And looking at your team heading into this state meet, I know based on the varsity bound power rankings, you guys are about number 11 in the state, and swimming is one of those sports without any classes. It's everybody in one class. How exciting does that make you heading into this weekend, knowing the fact that you're pushing right there on that top 10 in the state?
Yeah, I am so proud of these girls because we're ahead of a lot of huge schools. And a lot of the schools like Waukee, they have 2 high schools and they're 1 swim team. So, I mean, they're huge in the state of Iowa, and we're going against everybody. We're against Ames, Waukee, Dowling, like the top of the state. And these girls, they don't let it intimidate them. And I said, you deserve it just as much as they do. And they show it. They really push through, and it's really an honor to be recognized that high in the state for swimming.
I believe this is the 3rd or the 4th year of the new format for the state swim meet with a little bit more preliminaries and then the finals coming on Saturday. Are you guys used to this new format? How does that change your approach as you get ready for this week?
Yeah, we're getting used to it. We don't have any prelim final meets through the season. So it is a little bit challenging because the divers are in the morning, which I wish they were in the evening because then we could, incorporate them a little bit more into the whole meet. So the swimmers prelims are Friday evening, and then they turn around and swim finals on Saturday morning. So it's a quick turnaround when we're down there, and it's really pushing, getting that fuel in Friday night after you swam to get right back in the water Saturday morning, be ready to go.
And how much of a physical challenge is that? How much of a mental challenge is it? Knowing the fact you got to be on your game enough to qualify for the finals, and then 12 hours later, here you are swimming for a state title potentially.
Yeah, it is challenging, but these girls are used to it, and most swim programs are challenges. There are a lot that have high school pools, but a lot of it is a challenge, especially this week where the boys season and the girls season are overlapping. Pool space is very hard. But we do, we have evening practices and then we go right into morning practices. So their body is used to it, and they really can perform no matter where they're at, what time it is. They're just a good group.
And last week at the state qualifier in Dubuque, Hempstead hosted it. You ended up 3rd in that state qualifier, and you obviously had the teams or the times to qualify for the state meet. What made your kids rise to the occasion last Saturday?
They came off of a huge conference win. We were on paper, there was no way we should have won conference this year, but they had it in their gut. They were not going to lose. They went to that meet prepared to win. And so we just kept the momentum. After that, they were ready. We had huge time drops at conference. We had almost all personal best times. And then at regionals, we did it again. We dropped again. And they're just driven. They do it for their teammates. They're not individual swimmers. There's not one of them that's out there for themselves. They're out there for their team. And I think that's really the determining factor. We had a goal to get 10, I had 9 events to state because we had 8 last year, I believe. And so that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to do it as a team. And I think that was the difference.
And how do you go about building that camaraderie that you're doing it for everybody else in a sport where it's often your individual event and you're out there by yourself? How do you go about building that camaraderie that says, hey, if I do well, everybody does well?
Well, I always talk to them about points. You never let anybody out touch you. And if you go to like the people that go to our meets see that the girls know how to finish a race, and that's points away from them and points for us. And they show it. They know how to finish races, and it shows at regionals, and hopefully it will show at state also. We are tweaking a few things going into state. A couple of the relay changes, not people, but we're switching them up, and we're just focusing on some fine tuning turns and stuff before we hit the state meet. So that should help. And there's also a couple teams that Decorah really likes to beat when we get there. So they always like to out touch those teams.
Nothing wrong with that. And what's going to be the key to having as good of a weekend in Marshalltown as you possibly can?
Just the girls staying relaxed. Most of them have been to the state tournament before, so they know what to expect. So they get those butterflies out. We have swam against a lot of those girls this season. So they have seen them going through the season. So that helps. It's not new. We also had conference at the Marshalltown pool, so we swam there this year already. So that helps as well, because it's nice to be in the venue before you go there and race.
All right, Allie, congratulations on a really good season to this point. Hopefully you can make it a great season with your kids' performance this weekend down in Marshalltown. We wish you best of luck at the state swim meet.
Thank you so much.
Allie Bachelder, head coach of the Decorah girls swim team. The Decorah girls 10 events at the state girls swimming and diving meet this weekend in Marshalltown.